Happy Wednesday. I was going to say Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Look at how many bars I have left. And battery. 80 degrees. It's warm. 9:28. And I consider myself being on time today. Yep, I sure do. So, I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to clear from my iCloud too. I was telling the husband on the phone right now, I said, can I send you all the pictures of the grandkids so that you can have some on your phone, because I'm running out of storage. I already upgraded. I can't upgrade anymore. It's too expensive. And he's like, well, why don't you clear the stuff that you don't need? And I'm like, excuse me, I have other pictures on there that I need. And he's like, you probably have like 500 pictures of Tabby. Tabby's my cat, by the way. And I'm like, yeah, I do, and I need those. He's like, you don't need all those pictures. Like, yes, I do. I'm not deleting her pictures. And look, I told him I'm trying not to delete pictures of the grandkids. So that's why I'm giving the chance to you to take them and put them on your phone. You don't have any pictures on your phone. I don't know why he doesn't like to have pictures on his phone. He's so weird. He's got the same picture of me from back, I don't know, like 2000 and something, you know, like 14 or something, or maybe 2010. I don't know. But it's in the early 2000s. I'm like, it's time to change my picture out, mister, you know. But whatever. There is something that I wanted to talk about tonight. I was thinking about it in the shower, but of course I'm never prepared. I do want to say this update, and I can start it out like this because I never go like right into what I want to talk about. I always start out with something else, like the husband. The neighbor. We all know that neighbor. You know, her and I were getting along for a little bit. Still don't trust her, but we were getting along. She was coming over more often. And let's just say she did something that I didn't like. Okay? I will explain. But let's make this clear. Disclaimer. Moon Diaries is very sensitive. Just like her dog is highly allergic to cats, I am highly allergic and sensitive to assholes. Okay? So, with that said, she was there. Anytime she comes, my cat gets really stressed out. My cat likes to be the only fur baby in the house, if you will. And it's understandable. It's her house, right? So whenever Emily comes over, she's gotten used to Emily, and Emily doesn't go near her. Emily's already learned her lesson. She went near her once. Tabby went, and Emily screamed and doesn't go near Tabby anymore. She avoids her now, poor Emily. And Emily is a big dog with a lot of strength, trust me. Now, I was about to call him Pancho. Chapo, my neighbor's dog, he's a Chihuahua, okay? And that's his name, El Chapo. And we'll call him Chaps. I call him Poppy sometimes. He's so cute. And he's allergic to life itself, you know? She tells me all this list of things he's allergic to. And I'm like, are you sure it's him? You're just not like, what is that called when you feel like you're sick all the time? I forgot what it's called, but anyhow, I'm like, all right. And anyhow, anytime they come over, first of all, she comes over unannounced. That finally got on my nerves bad, because it was this past Saturday. My son didn't have to go in early. This Saturday, he is going to come in early, and I'm like, great. My have to wake up super early Saturday and Sunday. But anyway, she came over. I was still in my nightgown. I had started cleaning though. I had started like doing the dusting, the furniture and everything. And she just comes over unannounced, and I'm like, okay, you know? And she's like, you're still in your nightgown? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, well, I'm going to go to Best Buy with my mom and do this and this and that. I'm like, okay, well, have fun, you know? And I was just like, I was really upset about that, because I'm like, why do you keep coming over here unannounced? Why don't you text me first? Or call me. Call me or text me. I prefer text, you know? And listen, you all, last time that I went to her apartment, I texted her first. And this was like 2 weeks ago. I don't just show up to her door. I text her first, and I said, hey, are you there? Are you home? Can I come over? And she's like, yes, but just give me a second. And I'll text you right back when I'm ready. And I was like, okay. So obviously, you know, she was doing something, right? So I was glad that I text first. Not even 2 minutes later, she's like, okay, I'm ready. You can come over now. And I was like, okay. And I started walking over there. Now, to me, that's more, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I can never think at this hour or ever. But what's more polite, courtesy, you know, just, I guess courtesy. It's more courteous, right? She doesn't do that for me. She does this during the week. She does it on the weekend, where she just pops up, you know, and pops in and always lets her dog out, loose into my apartment. And of course, her dog runs straight to the cat food, to Tabby's food and water. That's another no-no that I don't like. So then I started putting, you know, her food and water on the counter, so he can't reach up there, but she's already known that I don't like that. Obviously, I don't like it if I take Tabby's food away and I put it on the counter. Now, this past time that she went over, she I think it was on Sunday or Monday, I don't remember too well, but she was there, and it was Sunday. Yeah, I remember now, because she says she went to church with her mom. And I was like, oh, that's great, you know, because she's been having issues with her mother, you know, like they argue back and forth a lot, kind of like my mom and I did. But anyway, so it was on Sunday. The dog was there. He went straight for the water. I didn't have time to pick it up, and he starts drinking out of Tabby's bowl. And I was just like, no. And then she's like, well, it's okay, he's thirsty. And I was just like, okay, well, do you have a bowl for him? I'll give him some water from my faucet, you know. But yeah, this is Tabby's water. Oh, well, he's just really thirsty. Just let him have it. I'm like, what the hell, you know? So the dog, what was I going to do? Pull him away from the water, or pull the water away from him, you know? So I'm just like waiting for the dog to finish. He finished, and he was about to get into her food. And I was like, no. And so I got the bowls up and I put them on the counter. Then we went to go sit on the couch. The dog, she lets him get up on the couch. Never even asked me if it's okay. She just puts him up there, right? So before that, he was already messing around with Tabby's toys. And Tabby does not like that. So Tabby, you know, she started doing her usual cat things, like, you know, those type of things. And she's like, stop it. And I thought she was talking to her dog. No, she was talking to my cat. I was like, what? You know, she's like, she's there hissing. She's so temperamental and moody. She needs to stop it. I said, well, it's her space. Your dog's invading her space. well, she needs to get over it. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, this is her house. And she kind of just sat there like, well, my dog's not doing anything. I said, he's getting her toys. And I did give him one little toy from there. It's a little squeaky toy that Tabby doesn't play with, so I let him have that one, right? But he doesn't want just that one toy. He apparently likes the Garfield toy that I have for her. And she's like, he also likes the Garfield. And I said, okay, well, that's hers. This is his, that is hers. All the other ones down there, they're hers. If you want, you can bring over a toy with you that's his, that he can play here with. But these are hers. Just like the food and water are hers. And I'm like, this woman is becoming insufferable again. And I don't know, we were still talking and everything, and then she was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go, because she started telling me about how she met some guy online from Chicago. And I'm like, oh wow, it sounds like my cousin's boyfriend. And I'm like, is his name Junior by any chance? And she's like, no, I forgot what name she gave me. But I was like, oh, and he's a gangster apparently, because he talks like he's a gangster. And I'm like, well, how old is this guy? You know, I thought she was going to say like in his 30s or something. No, 51. And I'm like, and he's still talking like that? I'm like, okay, I understand, you know, some men still dress gangster, you know, especially your black African men, you know, they get to like dress all gangster and everything. And some of them actually look really good. But they don't talk like them. You know, they grow out of that, but they're a combination of both. They're mature and still dress gangster but classy now, you know, and they wear the expensive stuff too. But anyhow, that's neither here or there. But I was just like, you know, and I was like, well, all right. And then they left, and I'm like, good. As soon as they left, I brought Tabby's food down with the water, and guess what? There was hair, Chapo's hair, all in it. I was like, great. I dumped out the water. I dumped out her food that was left in it. I washed the bowls up, dried them up, you know, refilled them. And I was like, oh, that's just great. Now he's going to be allowed to do this. Like, I don't understand why she doesn't take control of her dog. And then she ended up texting me about something. And I really can't remember what it was, but I was still fuming, you know. And I ended up telling her, you know what, Michelle, that's her name, Michelle. Just the way you are really forward with me about your dog and his needs and what he's allergic to, and give him this and give him that. I'm going to tell you right now that this is my cat's house. This is her house. She's the ruler of this house. Whatever she likes is allowed. What she doesn't like is not allowed. And I did not appreciate the way you yelled at her. Now, some of you all might be like, oh my God, Moon, really? You're going to get mad over that? Yeah. I don't yell at her dog. I don't even yell at Emily. She's my partner in crime. I don't even yell at her. I'll say like, Emily, calm down. Emily, please. Because Emily gets really excited and she starts jumping. She can almost jump up to my height. I'm short. I'm a shorty. I'm 5'1", 5'2" on a good day, you know? But, you know, she's a big girl. And anyway, but I don't like, stop it, Emily. You need to get over it. Go over there. No, never, never. Because I don't like talking to animals like that. To me, that's kind of abusive to me when you talk to an animal like that. I just don't like it. You know, you can think what you want, but to me, that's how I take it. But anyhow, I don't even talk to humans like that. I wish I could sometimes, because some people, you know, deserve to be told, go over there, get out of here, get, you know, because some people you just can't stand, like her. But anyway, so, I told her all that, and, oh, that looks like the medical assistant from my gyno's office. I wonder if that's her. Huh. I can't really tell. She rolled up her window to order. Anyhow. So, I told her about that, and then she's like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, yeah, you bet you're sorry, Well, ever since then, she hasn't come by. She hasn't even been home right after work like before. And I'm like, I'm enjoying this peace. My cat is enjoying this peace too. Because my cat would get really stressed out with her and her dog. She just did not like them. She doesn't like them. She doesn't like either one of them. And I feel so bad for not seeing it sooner. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, But, there's only so many chances that I could give. And once you yell at my pet, that's like my child, that's where I draw the line. If you were to yell at, it's like you yelled at one of my kids, and I don't like that. No. Like, who are you? But anyhow, and I would be just as defensive with Emily too. If somebody yelled at her really ugly, I would tell them something too. Like, no, you let me know. I'll correct her. But you don't yell at her, But however, Emily is such a good girl. She's a good girl. She listens. She doesn't attack anybody. She doesn't bite. She's a good girl, She's approachable. Chaps is a good boy. It's the owner that's not approachable. With that said, what I wanted to talk about really briefly is there's no, I'm going to call it no backsies, because it reminds me of the Reba show where Cheyenne and Matt are like kind of fighting, and then she says, no, you are, and no backsies. And what that means is you can't take something back. Once you say something to somebody else, you can't take it back. Yes, you can apologize. You can apologize profusely about it. But it doesn't change what was said. It's already out there. You already said it. And I mean that about everything. There's some people, and I'm trying to be very careful on how I say things, because they never come out right. And then people get all offensive with me, and then they tell me off and everything. But I'm trying to make a clear message here. Sometimes we get into a verbal exchange, whether it's with a loved one, a friend, somebody online, and we will say the most ugliest things. And hey, I'm guilty of it. I had an altercation with my cousin, my favorite cousin. And I said something to her that I regretted immediately after. And then I realized, even if I were to apologize now, weeks later, I'm pretty sure she's still going to be upset about what I said. It was pretty bad. And I would not put it past her if she didn't forgive me. However, she has said a lot of stuff to me, but that's not the point. We're not responsible for what other people say to us. We're only responsible what we say and how we react, but more importantly, what comes out of our mouth. And it's so important for us to be careful about that. Some people will call other people names, ugly names, when you don't even know what they're going through. But just because you don't like them and you want to join the group of haters over here and band together and start not being so nice to that other person. I don't know if I would call it hate. That's between you and your friends and God, but you're not being very nice to this other person, and you feel like you need to take justice in matters in your own hands and make sure that you let this person know that they're not nice and they're not right and you hurt them, or rather they hurt you, and this is their way of getting back at that person by just ganging together and just continually saying all these really ugly things until it's too late, until something happens to that other person and they're no longer around, whether they just picked up and left, or something really tragic happened to them where they lost their lives. And it's too late for you to go back and apologize to them for it. And I was thinking about this as I was thinking about the situation with my cousin. Like I said, she said so many mean things to me, but I'm the last one that said the most ugliest thing to her. And if something were to happen to her, I'm going to carry on that guilt with me. And I know some people believe, and I can always go back and, oh, cousin, I am so sorry for what I said. Please forgive me, yada, yada. And they're not even here anymore, but I'm saying it over her grave. But listen, they need to hear it while they're still alive. They need to know that you said it out of a bad place that you were at. You were angry. But that you really meant something good for them. But you just misspoke. You were angry. You were just angry. And then I started thinking even further. Like before, when the husband and I would argue really ugly, we would say the ugliest things to each other. And yes, afterwards, we would apologize. But then I finally told him, it's to the point where the apologies are not making up for what was said anymore. It was like, okay, you apologize, I forgive you, you forgive me, but we can't take what we said back. It's always going to be up there lingering around us, and until we somehow try to replace that with something better. And you would think, oh, well, we apologize, that should make everything better, but sometimes it doesn't. Do you all know what I'm trying to say here? Like, the point is don't say things that you can't take back, that you're going to regret, that's going to hurt you and hurt somebody else so badly that even an apology is not going to make up for it anymore. No matter how many times you apologize. No matter what you buy that person. That person will lose their trust in you. They will be distant from you. And I know some of you are tempted to, like, who cares? I didn't like them anyway. They're not good people. You're missing the point if that's your thinking. Because it's not even about them anymore. It is about you, where you're at. Forgiveness and I've heard this said before, it's not about the other person so much. It is about you. It is always about you. You are going to stand in judgment one day. Do you want to be judged for all the ugly things you said? You all, there's no more excuses. There's no more apologies. We got to be careful what we speak to someone and out in the universe. Before I end, Holy Spirit is really talking to me right now about YouTube. That place is so toxic. I thought Instagram was toxic. I thought X was toxic. YouTube has become the worst place. It is a cesspool full of trolls. People have this confidence behind their computers and their keyboards and hiding behind a name that they made up. And they will be so confident and so bold to type out the worst things possible because you don't know them anyway. You don't know them, they don't know you, but they're going to say this. How are you going to find out who they are? To me, that is so wrong. It's very cowardly. You may think you're doing something, but you're not. You're showing who you truly are. So anyway, with that said, that is my message for today. No backsies. So thank you for listening. I was going to tell you all about my experience with the doctor's office. What was it? Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Oh, I'll say that for another time. Thank you for listening, you all. It's almost Good Friday. I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm looking even more forward to Easter. Not that I have big plans on either day, but it's just something spiritual. So, love you all. Keep the faith. Talk to you again soon. Bye.